The wins keep coming. The victories keep occurring for our side. And man, oh man, the defeats are getting epic for the Democrats. I don't like to make fun of anybody who's in crisis. I mean it. I don't care what I think about somebody's politics. I don't care how much I despise somebody's political point of view or their destructiveness or their lawfare or their attempt to hurt the country. I don't want Kamala Harris to run anything. Let her be a manager at a Burger King. I don't want her to be in a position of government in any way, shape, or form. But I don't want to mock somebody who is in crisis. Now, I want you to consider something. They sat around in Hawaii, apparently, and thought it would be a good idea to push out a video of Kamala looking disheveled and slurring her words and babbling like an idiot. They thought that would be a good idea. Bear in mind, they want her to run for, she wants apparently to run for president in 2028 again. Now, I'm going to play this for you. You're not going to believe that this is real. You're going to think this is that funny actress who does the mock-ups and the satirical imitation of Kamala. I think her name is Esty or Esther. She's really funny. You're going to think this is what I'm playing. You're going to think I'm about to present an actress portraying Kamala Harris. You're not going to believe this is the actual failed Democrat nominee for president who was trounced by Donald Trump on November 5th. This is part of the actual video that the Kamala team thought would be a good idea for you to see.
Just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
I hope you're watching this on Salem News Channel because the visual impact of this is even more devastating than the audio. Her hair is kind of disheveled. She looks like she hasn't slept in days. She's hunched over. I mean, it's bad. It's really, really bad. This election, I guess, just broke her. She's been holed up in a very expensive property in Hawaii for weeks. Nobody has seen or heard of her. And somehow, inexplicably, they thought that would be a good idea to present to the American public. I mean, and there's more, too. I mean, it's not just that clip. I don't know how long the full video was. I'm not sure how extensive she got. It's bad. It's really bad. Now, again, I think we ought to have some compassion. If she's got a drinking problem, we shouldn't make fun of her. A lot of people said, well, she's drunk. Others said she's got a drug problem. And again, I don't want to make fun of that. But at the end of the day, somebody needs to help this woman. And let me stipulate one more thing. Let me make one more point, and I want to turn it over to you here. It's the Wednesday, November 27th episode of the Mike Gallagher Show in the Relief Factor Studios. It's the day before Thanksgiving. We are ready to go. We're excited about having you join us. Our final day before we hit Thanksgiving with our Angel Tree campaign. And boy, do I have good news to share with you on that score. This is where we get excited. We got a long way to go, but we've had a great couple of days. The second part of the Kamala Harris shocking video, and believe me, it is shocking, is that they did this to her on purpose. She's surrounded by people. It can't just be her and Doug. It can't just be her saying, hey, let's put out a video here. She's got people around her who told her that would be a good idea. It'd be a good idea. Let's release this. You know, they saw the video after she made it. They taped it. Wasn't live. I don't think it was a live stream. So they looked at that and they said, you know what? Let's go with this. let's go with you slurring your words, looking disheveled, looking like you are absolutely on a bender, looking broken, looking wrecked, sounding debilitated. They told her, yes, Madam Vice President, we'll send that out. We're good to go with this. This is the look we're going for. So the people around her must hate her. Or maybe not so maliciously, I can say the people around her don't want to run again. They definitely don't want her back on the national stage because she's now turned into a laughingstock. Now she's a punchline. Now this failed presidential candidate has sadly become a joke. Again, I'm not trying to be a smart aleck here. I mean it. I think we ought to have a little bit of empathy, a little bit of compassion, even sympathy for what this woman must be going through. The Kamala Harris video that was released yesterday is bad. Imagine bragging about raising $1.5 billion, now apparently over $20 million in debt in a failed campaign. This would be, I mean, she does. She brags about it in the video. Let's listen and watch a little more to Kamala Harris's dreadful post-election message to her supporters.
You called in favors. You said, hey, I showed up at your softball game. Now I need you to show up at the campaign office. You put in the time. It was personal for you. And you gave all that you could to support our campaign. Because of your efforts, get this, we raised an historic $1.4 billion, almost $1.5 billion from grassroots supporters alone, the most in presidential campaign history. Nearly 8 million donors contributed an average donation of about $56 to fuel our people-powered campaign.
Now, I'm thinking about a sports team. Let's say Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. What's he paying Dak Prescott? Anybody know? He's paying Dak Prescott a fortune. And the Cowboys finish 0-12. I'm just hypothetically. You're paying your quarterback, $500 million. And at the end of the season where you're 0-12, you hold a press conference. And you say, we're paying Dak Prescott $60 million a year, and under his leadership, we went 0-12. Isn't that great? Isn't that special? They'd get a butterfly net and escort Jerry Jones off the stage. She's bragging about $1.4 billion, $20 million still in debt, in the losing effort. I mean, the woman needs an intervention. She's either on a bender, she's in the middle of a bender, something's really, really wrong. Joanne is in Detroit. Hey, Joanne, welcome to the Mike Gallagher Show. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm great. Are you as concerned about Kamala as the rest of us?
Well, yeah, because my understanding is the Democrats never liked her in the first place. And so and then she only got to be vice president because of woman of color. So when they got into a bind with Biden, they had no choice but to use her because they couldn't overlook a woman of color that was already the vice president. Yeah. Unfortunately, everything backfired. And so the ego is so big, she's so crushed. She don't know what to do. You're so right. You're so right. My gosh. Yeah, it's all ego.
It's
she's
ego.
Not on no bender or nothing.
No.
Hurt. She's ego-wise.
But Joanne, we've all been hurt. When I wouldn't. Would you act like that if I'm just being hurt? I mean, there's something catastrophically wrong with her.
Politics and power is their God. And so when you're so into just like now, when she's bragging about, they raised this money, but you still owe it. I mean, that's crazy.
That's
okay,
nuts.
But you pay these people to say they support you.
Yeah.
And now you're broke, and you still want them to. It's ego, and they can't accept it, and they're mad, so they're going to take it out on her. Because if they liked her, Mike, they never would have let her make that video. That's crazy.
It's crazy. Joanne, always great hearing from you. I appreciate your perspective very much. One open line, 800-655-MIKE, 15 before the hour. Look, I don't know. I mean, it's a funny thing to talk about compassion in a political setting, because a lot of people say, look, we got to roll up our sleeves and we got to be just as tough on them as they are on us. But like to the other caller I said, they're evil, they're vile, they can be vicious. That shouldn't be what we are. We just got to be tough. We got to be tough. And do we have a tough sheriff coming to town. We got a tough hombre. That Tom Holman, the border czar, he ain't playing around. He is not messing around. Get ready for more of that